I haven't paid a single attention to this insanity of a story right now with the Pogba brothers. Okay, I'm not even gonna, literally that's it. Please explain to us, give me an explainer of what the bejesus is going on.
Yeah, very murky. I mean, unfortunately, every couple of years there seems to be some crazy case like this that crops up coming out of France. And unfortunately for me, it usually falls on me to report it. So there is a piece already up on CBS that sort of details what's going on, but just sort of like a recap. So basically, you had this kind of like cryptic declaration on social media on Saturday night from an account claiming to be Paul Pogba's brother, Mathias. Now, Paul Pogba, has a couple of relatives playing football, Florentin as well, who was recently at Sochaux in Ligue 2. Mathias is kind of the journeyman older brother. Now, according to the allegations and the to and froing on social media that happened over Sunday while I was at Parc des Princes watching PSG drawing with Monaco, you basically have some allegations from Mathias Pogba, or hints from Mathias Pogba, that he has basically some dirt to dish on younger brother Paul. Now, Paul Pogba has come out and basically clarified that there is an investigation ongoing into a gang that's linked with former childhood friends and his older brother Mathias, and sort of gleaning from the information that multiple French reports have come out with since, there has been an attempt to blackmail Paul Pogba to the tune of about 13 million, and it sounds like, based on the latest sort of waves of revelations, that Pogba considered paying some sort of fee much lower than the fee demanded to try and satisfy them. That didn't satisfy them, and that basically prompted Paul Pogba to launch a complaint, because the intimidation hasn't just happened in France while he was back visiting family back in March, I believe, during the international break. It's also happened in Italy since he's rejoined Juve, and in Manchester while he was still a Manchester United player. So pretty scary stuff, obviously. And then you've got a lot of other crazy revelations thrown in with this mention of some sort of witch doctor curse that Paul Pogba might have put on Kylian Mbappe, which he has refuted and basically claimed that Mathias Pogba, his older brother, and the sort of gang that he's associated with would use to try and tarnish his name in order to make him cough up some money. So all very, very dodgy, quite crazy. And you've got a lot of people chiming in now. Nantes coach Antoine Comboiré was basically giving his backing to Paul Pogba earlier today in a press conference. You've got Noël Le Graët, the French Football Federation president, coming out and saying that Didier Deschamps is going to have a big decision to make about Pogba, because let's not forget, it's not just this controversy that's surrounding him at the moment. He's recovering from injury. There's no guarantee he'll be 100% fit when the World Cup rolls around at the end of the year. So yeah, all very unexpected and pretty explosive, considering that I wasn't expecting Sunday to be that busy before the game.
I'm very impressed with France. You're dealing with the telenovela rhetoric of South America right now. It's incredible. You're done with the Benzema situation, and now Didier Deschamps has to figure out this thing. Let's just, final question, by the way, because you did touch on it. And obviously this is a big next few months for France and the national team as the World Cup starts and everything. To your point, Pogba is not guaranteed a spot at this point, recovering from injury. So how do you envisage this? Because I'm presuming that Deschamps, the last thing he wants, especially after welcoming back Karim Benzema, he wants another, telenovela-esque sort of storyline to poison what could be with the French national team trying to defend their World Cup title, of course.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways, to look at this, because, let's be honest, France haven't been at their best since winning the World Cup in 2018. They flopped at Euro 2020. I mean, all credit to Switzerland for knocking them out, but it was still pretty underwhelming from Les Bleus. And there is a different dynamic now to this group. You've got the returning Benzema, who is, expected to win the Ballon d'Or later this year. You've got a very dominant Kylian Mbappe, who is now not just top dog at PSG, but pretty much top dog within the French national team as well. And if there is any sort of semblance of truth to the accusations against Paul Pogba, that there is any sort of rivalry or bad blood between him and Mbappe, you'd have to assume that would also impact the chemistry on the group and have to influence Deschamps' decision as well. It sounds unlikely that there is any truth to that at this stage, but this is something that's changing, sort of by the hour. There's a lot of different things being said, and it's a question of going through, what what is actually coming from a reliable source and what isn't, because there's a lot of speculation. But I don't think it's unreasonable to say that it's going to be a big couple of months coming up for Pogba, because it's not just about his injury. It's not just about his poor form on the pitch, because let's be honest, he hasn't been playing at a great level, hasn't obviously been able to be available for Juve either yet since completing his return to Turin. And this France team is going to have to move on without him at some point. He's not the only player as well that Deschamps is going to have headaches over. You've got the likes of N'Golo Conte as well, who physically is not the same player that he was a couple of years ago. So a lot on Deschamps' plate to deal with, and he won't appreciate another scandal sort of coming into the camp so soon after the recent return of Benzema and all of the sort of bad memories and recrimination that brought with it.
The emergence of Aurélien Tchouameni and Bouba Kamara, of course, is not going to help any matters for Paul Pogba's squad.
Bouba Kamara should be captain of France at this
1,000%, absolutely. Hey, just to finish up here very quickly here. Obviously, I don't know him from Adam, but from everything that we've read about him and seen him in the last few years, Kylian Mbappe is also very, he wears his heart in his sleeve. He's quite an emotional person, very, lack of a better phrase, sensitive when it comes to just like relationships that he has with, whether it's another teammate or a manager. How do you think Mbappe is dealing with this situation right now?
I mean, look, Mbappe is an old head on young shoulders. Obviously he has taken on a new level of responsibility at PSG since extending his contract there. And he knows his importance within the French national team setup as well. I don't think that he will jump to conclusions. I do think that there is a fairly significant element of truth in what people like Kombouare are saying, where, it is a very difficult world to be sort of a young emerging footballer, especially one that goes on to enjoy, playing at the absolute top level and sort of all the trappings, the fame, the fortune that comes with it. And to that extent, I think there is probably going to be a fairly significant backing of Paul Pogba from within, the circles closest to him. I don't think that Mbappe would jump to any conclusions about him. I'm sure he'll probably want to clear the air in person if he's not been able to do that already. But it has also been, quite a distracting start to the season for Mbappe himself, because let's not forget, he started the domestic campaign suspended. Then he had picked up that small injury, sort of had that little tiff with Neymar about the penalties, which, by the way, was completely swept under the rug when he gifted Neymar the penalty against Monaco for the equaliser over the weekend. I think he's probably just looking to focus on his football. So when he gets an opportunity, I imagine perhaps even at the next international break, that he'd want to sort of clear that up for good. But I don't think he'll be reading too much into what's being written in the press at the moment. I mean, he is very rarely away from the headlines, and I think for this kind of thing, like I said, it's changing at an hourly rate. So I don't think that he'll be, passing any, quick judgment on this without speaking to Pogba.